Good afternoon all. Welcome to the lecture of number theory. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. In last lecture we have seen what is a linear congruence, and if there is any linear congruence, then when the linear congruence has a solution. That is, if first we have seen what is a linear congruence. Linear congruence is nothing but an expression of the form Ax congruent to B modulo n, where A is not congruent to 0 modulo n. If A is congruent to 0 modulo n, then there is no meaning for the values of x. Hence here we have to take A is not congruent to 0 modulo n, and any integer x naught will be a solution of that linear congruence Ax congruent to B modulo n if it satisfies the linear congruence Ax congruent to B modulo n. That is, Ax naught is congruent to B modulo n, then we say that x naught is a solution of that linear congruence. After that we have seen one theorem. In that theorem we have proved that the linear congruence Ax congruent to B modulo n has a solution if and only if D divides B, where D is nothing but the GCD of an. Now we have to see the next theorem. That is, if solution exists, then how many solutions are incongruent. Okay, that is already in last theorem we have proved that consider any D solutions and that D solutions are incongruent. That is, if we take any two among these D solutions, then these two solutions are not congruent modulo n. That is, they are incongruent. Okay, they are independent of each other. Now we have to show that these D solutions are incongruent. Okay. Screen is visible.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now the next theorem will be let Ax congruent to B modulo n be a linear congruence and D divides B, where D is the GCD of two integers A and n. Then we have to prove that then the linear congruence Ax congruent to B modulo n has exactly D incongruent solutions. Modulo n. Okay. So in last lecture we have already proved that if Ax congruent to B modulo n be any linear congruence, and then that linear congruence has a solution if and only if D divides B, where D is the GCD of an. And we have also proved that we have first considered that there are D solutions, that is x naught plus n upon D, x naught plus 2n upon D, up to so on, x naught plus D minus 1 into n upon D, and we have proved that these D solutions are incongruent modulo n. Now in this theorem we have to prove that these are the only D incongruent solutions over modulo n. If we take any D plus 1th solution, then it must be congruent to one of these D solution. That is, we have to prove. Okay. So it's proof. Let us consider x naught plus n upon D into T be a solution of linear congruence Ax congruent to B modulo n. Okay. Now, as here T varies from 0 to up 0, 1, 2, 3 up to so on, D minus 1, D plus 1, and so on. Therefore, D must be greater or equal by D. As T is greater or equal by D, then we have to apply the division algorithm on these two integers t and d. Then by division algorithm, as t is greater equal by d, then t is nothing but some multiple of d plus something reminder where 0 is less equal by r and which is less than d. As here 0 is less equal by r and r is less than d, as t is a multiple of d and r lies between 0 to d. 0 to less than d means r lies between 0 to d minus 1, since r is also an integer and the value which is 1 less than the d is nothing but d minus 1. Therefore r must be lies between 0 to d minus 1. Then the possibilities are 0, 1, 2, 3 up to so on d minus 1, and these numbers are d in number, that is the total number of this total number of elements in this set are d, that is 0 is nothing but first element, second element, third element, and this d minus 1 is nothing but the dth element. Therefore total number of elements in this set will be d, that is there are total d possibilities for the remainder r, that is 0 to d minus 1. So here we get t as dq plus r, where 0 is less equal by r and r is less than d, which is less equal by d minus 1. Thus the solution x naught plus n upon d into t on modulo n becomes x naught plus n upon d into t, but t is nothing but d into q plus r, over modulo n. Okay, so which is nothing but x naught plus, now we have to multiply this element in the bracket, we get n into dq divided by d is nothing but n into q plus n upon d into r over modulo n. As n into q is divisible by n, therefore its remainder will be 0, which is nothing but x naught plus 0 plus n upon d into r over modulo n. But r is lies between 0 to d minus 1. Therefore there are d possibilities for the value of r. Then how many solutions are possible? These solutions are d in number, since there are d possibilities for the r. Therefore these solutions are d in number, since there are d possibilities for the value of r. Okay, which implies the linear congruence ax congruent to b modulo n has exactly d incongruent solutions. And if we take any d plus 1 the solution, then it must be congruent to one of these d solution. Hence there are only d incongruent, that is there are only d independent solutions, that is none among these d solutions will be congruent to one another. Okay, and hence the proof. Any doubt? कोणाला काही डाऊट आहे का? लास्ट लेक्चरला आपण काय प्रूव्ह केलं होतं, लिनियर कॉन्ग्रुअन्स काय आहे हे डिफाईन केलं. त्यानंतर एखाद्या लिनियर कॉन्ग्रुअन्सला सोल्युशन कधी असतं, जर जीसीडी ऑफ ए एन डिवाइड्स बी, देन द लिनियर कॉन्ग्रुअन्स हॅज अ सोल्युशन, हे प्रूव्ह केलं. त्याच्यानंतर तुम्ही आपण कोणतेही आर्बिट्ररी टी साठी डी सोल्युशन डी एलिमेंट घेतले, ते म्हणजे एक्स नॉट प्लस एन अपॉन डी, कॉमा एक्स नॉट प्लस 2n डिवाइडेड बाय डी अप टू सो ऑन एक्स नॉट प्लस डी मायनस 1 इंटू एन डिवाइडेड बाय डी, हे डी सोल्युशन घेतले. आणि त्या डी सोल्युशनला आपण हे प्रूव्ह केलं की त्या डी मधून कोणतेही दोन एकमेकांना कॉन्ग्रुएंट नाहीत. मग आजच्या थेरम मध्ये आपल्याला काय प्रूव्ह करायचं आहे, ते डी सोल्युशनच फक्त इनकॉन्ग्रुएंट सोल्युशन असतील. बाकीचं जर तुम्ही डी प्लस 1 कोणताही, त्या डी ला सोडून जर तुम्ही कोणताही एक सोल्युशन घेतला तर त्या डी पैकी एकाला कॉन्ग्रुएंट असेल. इतकंच प्रूव्ह केलं. ठीक आहे. Let us see the examples depending on this result. First one, solve 18x congruent to 30 modulo 42. Okay, now we have to solve this congruence. Okay, now we have to compare this congruence with ax congruent to b modulo n. Compare this with ax congruent to b modulo n. After comparing, we get a is equal to 18, b equal to 30, and n equal to 42. And we know that the linear congruence ax congruent to b modulo n has a solution if GCD of AB divides n. For that, we have to calculate the GCD of an. As a is 18 and n is 42, then we have to find out the GCD of 18 and 42. Okay, here GCD of 18 and 42 is equal to, what is the GCD of 18 and 42? (42) is nothing but 18 into 2 plus 6. Now we have to write 18, which is equal to 6 into 3 plus 0. As this one is the nth term, then what will be the GCD of these two integers, 18 and 42?
6.
Which implies GCD of 18 and 42 is 6. Now, if the linear congruence 18x congruent to 30 modulo 42 has a solution, then we have to divide this 6 by, that is, we have to divide 30 by 6. As 6 divides 30, which implies the linear congruence 18x congruent to 30 modulo 42 has a solution. Okay, now we have to use the above theorem and we have to find how many solutions will be exist for this linear congruence. In above theorem, we have proved that if ax congruent to b modulo n be any linear congruence and d divides b, where it is the GCD of an, then the linear congruence has exactly d incongruent solution. That is, the GCD of an is nothing but the number of incongruent solutions of the given congruence. Okay, as here d equal to 6, that is the GCD of two integers 18 and 42 will be equal to 6. Then by above theorem, the given congruence has exactly 6 incongruent solutions. Okay, now given congruence is nothing but 18x congruent to 30 modulo 42. Okay, let us check whether x equal to 1 will be a solution of this congruence. As if we take x equal to 1, then 18 is congruent to 30 modulo 42. 18 minus 30 is nothing but minus 12, and minus 12 is not divisible by 42. Therefore, x equal to 1 is not a solution of this congruence. Check x equal to 2. X equal to 2. 2 into 18 is nothing but 36, and 36 minus 30 is 6. Again, 6 is not divisible by 42. Therefore, x equal to 2 is again not a solution. X equal to 3. X equal to 3. 18 into 3 is nothing but 54. 54 minus 30 will be 24, and 24 is not divisible by 42. Therefore, x equal to 3 is again not a solution. Now let us check 18 into 4. 18 into 4 is nothing but
72.
72 minus 30 will be 42, and 42 is divisible by 42, which implies by observation x equal to 4 x equal to 4 is a solution of given linear congruence. That is, here we have find out one particular solution, that is x naught equal to 4. This one will be the one particular solution of the given linear congruence, and we know that if we get some particular solution of the given linear congruence, then all the other solutions are given by, that is the general solutions. The general solutions are given by x equal to x naught plus n upon d into t. Now t lies between, or t is any arbitrary integer, but in above theorem we have proved that t must be lies between 0 to 5. That is 0 is less equal by some remainder r, which is less equal by 6. Then only we get the incongruent solution. Here we have to find out the incongruent solution. If we have to find out the incongruent solution, then t must be lies between 0 to 5. That is whatever will be the GCD of whatever will be the GCD. That is, as here d equal to 6, then this t is lies between 0 to 6. Since in previous lectures theorem we have proved that t is lies between 0 to d, as here d is equal to 6, then t must be lies between 0 to 5. Okay, now we have to vary the value of t and find out the values of x. If suppose t equal to 0, if t equal to 0, then x equal to
X naught.
x equal to x naught, and x naught is nothing but 4. Okay, this is for t equal to 0. Now if t equal to 1, then x equal to x naught. X naught is 4 plus, first let us find out, here we know the values of n and d. Put that values. Okay, which is nothing but x naught is 4 plus n is nothing but 42 divided by d. D is 6 into t, which is equal to 4 plus 7t, where t lies between 0 to 5. Now we have to vary the values of t and find out the values of x. Okay, which implies x equal to 4 whenever t equal to 0, and whenever t equal to 1, 7 into 1 plus 4, which is equal to 11. If t equal to 2, then what should be the value of x? If t equal to 3,
25.
t equal to 4, and if t equal to 5, which is nothing but 39. Okay, so these are the 6 incongruent solutions of the given linear congruence. So these are the 6 incongruent solutions of 18x congruent to 30 modulo 42. Okay, now in above theorem we have proved that if we consider any d plus 1th solution, then it must be congruent to one of these d solutions. So here let us take the value of t equal to 6. That is, t is nothing but, if we take t equal to 6, then what should be the value of x? X is nothing but 4 plus 7 into 6. 7 into 6 will be 42, which is equal to 42 plus 4, 46, and 46. Now we have to find out the value of 46 over modulo 42. What should be its value over modulo 42?
-4.
46 ला जर तुम्ही 42 ने डिवाइड केला तर रिमाइंडर -4 कसा येईल? 46 divided by 42. What should be the remainder? 4 ना, म्हणजे 46 ची व्हॅल्यू 42 वर काय असेल? 4 असेल. आणखी तुमचा 4 हा ऑलरेडी एकदा सोल्युशन आहे इथे. म्हणजे जर तुम्ही या 6 पैकी जर कोणती टी ची व्हॅल्यू जर पुट केलात, तर जो येणारा सोल्युशन आहे ते या सहा पैकी कोणत्या तरी एकाला 100% कॉन्ग्रुएंट असेल. म्हणजे तुम्हाला टोटल इंडिपेंडेंट सोल्युशन किती मिळतील, जितका तुमचा जीसीडी आहे तितका. आता इथं सी जीसीडी आहे म्हणून तुम्हाला तितके मिळाले. ओके, फॉर एक्झाम्पल इफ वी टेक t equal to 10, okay, t equal to 10, then what should be the value of x? X is nothing but
74.
x is equal to 4 plus 70, which is equal to 74. Now we have to find out the value of 74 over modulo 42. 74 minus 42,
32.
which is nothing but 32, and 32 is already solution of this given linear congruence. Therefore there are only 6 incongruent solution. कळते का हे?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
जितके तुमचा जीसीडी आहे तितके तुम्हाला इनकॉन्ग्रुएंट सोल्युशन म्हणजे इंडिपेंडेंट सोल्युशन मिळतील. जर तुम्ही जीसीडीच्या पुढे म्हणजे टी ला जर व्हॅरी केलात तुम्ही, तर टी ला व्हॅरी केल्यानंतर तुम्हाला जर तुम्ही 6 किंवा 6च्या पुढचा कुठलाही नंबर घेतला तर येणारा सोल्युशन हा या 6 पैकी एकालाच कॉन्ग्रुएंट असेल. ओके, नाउ द नेक्स्ट एक्झाम्पल विल बी solve 9x congruent to 21 modulo 30. Solve this one. Okay, again we have to compare this one with the linear congruence ax congruent to b modulo n. Comparing with ax congruent to b modulo n, which implies a equal to 9, b equal to 21, and n equal to 30, and n equal to 30. And we know that the linear congruence ax congruent to b modulo n has a solution if GCD of an divides b. As here GCD of 9, 30, what should be its GCD? GCD of 9 and 30, the greatest common divisor of which is 3. Whether 3 divides 21?
Yes.
Yes,
As
yes.
3 divides 21, which implies the given congruence has a solutions. Given congruence has a solutions. And how many solutions will be exist for given congruence?
3.
The given congruence has exactly 3 incongruent solutions. Okay. Now for this example we will use the method of linear Diophantine equation. That is, we write this equation in the form of linear Diophantine equation. Given that 9x is congruent to 21 modulo 30. Okay, write this equation as 9x can be written as 3 into 3x congruent to 3 into 7 modulo 30. Okay, now this is in the form of CA congruent to CB modulo n. And we know that if CA is congruent to CB modulo n, then A is congruent to
B modulo n
B
upon
modulo n upon
GCD of
GCD of Cn.
Cn.
GCD of C and n. Okay, so from this result, which implies 3x is congruent to 7 modulo 30 divided by GCD of 3 and 30. What should be the GCD of 3 and 30?
3.
3, which is nothing but modulo 30 divided by 3? 10. Okay, which implies 3x is congruent to 7 modulo 10. Now we have to write this linear congruence in the form of linear Diophantine equation, which implies as 3x is congruent to 7 modulo 10, which implies 10 divides 3x minus 7, which implies there exists some integer y such that 10 into y is equal to 3x minus 7. That is 3x minus 10y is equal to 7. So this will be the linear Diophantine equation in two variables x and y. Now we have to compare this linear Diophantine equation with ax plus by equal to c. So what should be the value of a? 3, and value of b is minus 10, and c is nothing but 7. Now we have to check whether this linear Diophantine equation 3x minus 10y equal to 7 has a solution. Whether this linear Diophantine equation has a solution. Any linear Diophantine equation ax plus by equal to c has a solution if
GCD of AB divides C.
GCD of AB divides n. Okay, sorry, GCD of AB divides c. As here a is 3, b is minus 10, and 1 is nothing but c. What should be the GCD of a and 3 and minus 10?
1.
1.
Here GCD of 3 and minus 10. That is, this one is nothing but GCD of 3 and 10. Okay, and which is equal to 1, and 1 divides 7. Therefore the given linear Diophantine equation has a solution. Okay, now here we have to find out the value of GCD, that is 1. For that we have to use the Euclid's algorithm, that is 10 can be written as 3 into 3 plus 1, since it is multiple of a, which is equal to, now we have to write 3. 3 is nothing but 1 into 3 plus 0. From this, 1 is nothing but 10 minus 3 into 3. Okay. Now multiply both sides by 7, that is by c. Multiply both sides by 7. We get 7 is equal to 10 into 7 minus 3 into 7, which is 21. Actually a is nothing but 3, therefore which is nothing but minus of 21 into 3. As here value of b is minus 10, then we have to write this equation in terms of minus 10, which is nothing but plus 10 into 7. This can be written as minus of 21 into 3 minus of 7 into 10, since here value of b is nothing but minus 10. So here we have to write this equation in this form. Okay, now what should be the value of x naught? Here x naught is nothing but, this will be a, this minus 10 is nothing but b, then x naught is nothing but minus 21, and y naught is
minus 7.
minus 7. Okay, so here we get the value of x naught. Then all the other solutions are, all the other solutions are x equal to x naught plus n or b upon d into t. Okay, now we have to put the values of n and nd. Okay, x naught is nothing but minus of 21 plus n. For given linear congruence, n is nothing but 30 and b is 21. So n is nothing but 30. Its GCD will be 3 into t, which is equal to minus of 21 plus 10 t. Now, what should be the range of t? As GCD is 3, then t is lies between
0 to 2.
0 to 2. Since here we have to find out the incongruent solutions. Okay, so this one is nothing but x. Now, according to theorem, this given linear congruence has a 3 incongruent solution. Now we have to find out these 3 incongruent solutions. Okay, now t equal to 0, then x is nothing but
minus 21.
minus
Minus
21.
21.
And what should be the value of minus 21 over modulo 30? Just we have to subtract 21 from 30.
Minus 9.
minus 9 कसं येईल हो? फक्त तुम्हाला सबट्रॅक्ट
9.
9 येईल ना. And if t equal to 1, then it is nothing but minus 21 plus 10, which is nothing but minus of 11.
Minus
And
10.
minus 11 over modulo 30 is nothing but
19.
19. And if t equal to 2, minus 21 plus 20, which is equal to minus 1, and minus 1 over modulo 30,
29.
29. Okay, which implies x equal to 9, 19, and 29 are three incongruent solutions. Congruent solutions modulo 30. And if you take any value t which is greater than 3 or less than greater equal by 3 or less equal by 0, then it must be congruent to one of these three solutions. Okay, चेक करायचं असेल तर चेक करू शकता. एखादी टी ची व्हॅल्यू या तिन्ही पैकी दुसरी घेऊन चेक करायचं असेल तर करू शकता. फॉर एक्झाम्पल, इफ सपोज as t is any arbitrary integer, take t equal to minus of 3. If we take t equal to minus 3, then we get x is nothing but minus 21 minus of 10 into minus 3, which is nothing but minus of 30, which is equal to minus 21 minus 30 minus of 51. Minus 51 over modulo 30 is nothing but minus of 21, and minus 20 is nothing but 9. So if we take any value other than these three integers, that is 0, 1 and 2, then it must be congruent to one of these three solutions. कोणाला काही डाऊट?
Sir.
का असं काही डाऊट आहे? एक्स नॉटच का घेतला? वाय नॉट घेऊन प्रूव्ह करू शकता का? वाय नॉट साठी पण चेक करायचं. फॉर एक्झाम्पल, वाय नॉट जर घ्यायचं असेल तर तुम्हाला वाय दुसरे सोल्युशन मिळतील ना. ओके, टेक वाय इक्वल टू वाय नॉट प्लस a upon d into t, but y naught is nothing but minus of 7 plus a is nothing but 9 divided by its GCD 3 into t, which is equal to minus of 7 plus 3t. What should be its value? Minus 7. Think. Okay, which is nothing but minus 7 plus 3t, which is nothing but minus of 7. Minus 7 is nothing but 23. Okay, and if y equal t equal to 1, then which is nothing but for t equal to 1, y equal to minus 7 plus 3, which is minus 4. Minus 4 is nothing but 26. And if t equal to 2, then it is nothing but minus of 7 plus 6, which is equal to minus 1, and which is nothing but 29. So these are the three incongruent solutions if y is a solution. Okay, now the next concept will be Chinese remainder theorem. Okay, let us see its statement. Let n1, n2 up to so on nr be positive integers, such that GCD of ni comma nk is equal to 1 for each I not equal to k, then the system of linear congruences x congruent to a1 modulo n1 second one is x congruent to a2 modulo n2 and up to so on x congruent to ar modulo nr. Okay, nr has a simultaneous solution which is unique modulo the integer n1 n1 into n2 into up to so on into nr. Okay, this will be the statement of our Chinese remainder theorem. This theorem states that if n1 n2 up to so on nr be are positive integers such that gcd of ni comma nk will be 1 for each I not equal to k. That is, if we take any two distinct numbers, then they must be relatively prime. Okay, then the system of linear congruences, that is, here there are more than one congruences, that is x is congruent to a1 modulo n1, x is congruent to a2 modulo n2 up to so on, x is congruent to ar modulo nr has a simultaneous solution. That is, we have to prove it. This system of linear congruences has a simultaneous solution and which is unique modulo the integer n1 into n2 into up to so on nr. Okay, what is meant by simultaneous solution? If suppose there are two equations ax plus by equal to 0 and cx plus dy is equal to 1. Okay, so these are the two simultaneous equation. So in this type of equation we have to find out the values of x and y which satisfies these equations. हेच करतो ना सायमल्टेनियस इक्वेशन मध्ये आपण असे व्हॅल्यू फाइंड आउट करतो x आणि y चे, ते दोन्ही इक्वेशन सॅटिस्फाय करायला पाहिजे. हेच करतो ना.
येस सर. येस सर.
म्हणजे तुम्हाला इथं काय करायचंय, हे तुमच्याकडे आर लिनियर कॉन्ग्रुअन्स आहेत, यामध्ये तुम्हाला अशी व्हॅल्यू फाइंड आउट करायची आहे x ची ज्यासाठी हे सर्व लिनियर कॉन्ग्रुअन्स सॅटिस्फाय झाले पाहिजे. कळतंय का?
येस सर.
x ची अशी व्हॅल्यू फाइंड आउट करायची ज्यासाठी ऍट ए टाइम त्या पर्टिक्युलर x च्या व्हॅल्यूसाठी हे सर्व लिनियर कॉन्ग्रुअन्स सॅटिस्फाय झाले पाहिजे. म्हणजे x मायनस a1 हा डिव्हिजिबल झाला पाहिजे n1 नी, त्या पर्टिक्युलर x साठीच x मायनस a2 इज ऑल्सो डिव्हिजिबल बाय n2 अँड अप टू सो ऑन x मायनस ar इज ऑल्सो डिव्हिजिबल बाय nr फॉर सम fixed value, that is some particular value x. That value we have to find out, and which is nothing but the simultaneous solution of this system of linear congruences. And after that we have to prove that its uniqueness over the modulo n1 into n2 into up to so on nr. म्हणजे तुम्ही जी x ची व्हॅल्यू फाइंड आउट करणार आहे ना, ती या प्रोडक्ट मध्ये म्हणजे n1 into n2 into nr, समजा काहीतरी हा n असेल, n1 into n2 into up to so on nr, तर ही व्हॅल्यू या n1 साठी युनिक असेल. म्हणजे जेव्हा तुम्ही मॉड्युलो n जर अप्लाय केला त्यावर, तर ही पर्टिक्युलर x ची व्हॅल्यू ही मॉड्युलो n च्या मध्ये एकदाच मिळेल. आणखीन जर ती दोनदा मिळाली असेल तर ती मस्ट बी ग्रेटर इक्वल बाय n असेल आणि मॉड्युलो n च्या अंडर ती व्हॅल्यू परत x ची. कळतंय का? युनिक व्हॅल्यू कसं येईल, तुम्हाला अशी व्हॅल्यू मिळेल जी की मॉड्युलो n म्हणजे ही n1 into n2 into up to so on nr या टर्मच्या खाली तुम्हाला म्हणजे याचा रिमाइंडर एक फिक्स व्हॅल्यू असेल जी तुमची x ची मिळेल. आणखी जर तुम्हाला जी दुसरी व्हॅल्यू जर मिळत असेल त्या x ची, तर ती मस्ट बी कॉन्ग्रुअन्स असेल त्या लहान व्हॅल्यूला रिमाइंडरलाच. हे एक्झाम्पल घेतल्यानंतर क्लिअर होईल, पण ते सोल्युशन युनिक येतं हे प्रूव्ह करायचं आहे. ठीक आहे. कुणाला काही डाऊट असेल तर सांगा स्टेटमेंट मध्ये. Let us see its proof. Let n is nothing but the product of these r integers, n1 into n2 into up to so on nr, and we have to define n1 is nothing but define n1, that is capital N1 is nothing but n divided by n1, that is nothing but n1 into n2 into up to so on nr divided by n1, which is nothing but n2 into n3 into up to so on nr. This is nothing but n1. Similarly, n2 is nothing but n divided by n2, that is it is nothing but n1 into n3 into up to so on nr, and so on nr, capital nr is nothing but n divided by nr, and which is nothing but n1 into n2 into up to so on nr minus 1. Okay, as here already we have given that n1 n2 up to so on nr are the r positive integers such that gcd of ni comma nk will be equal to 1, that is these integers are relatively prime. So as here gcd of ni comma nk is equal to 1 for each I not equal to k, which implies gcd of capital nk with nk. What should be its gcd? gcd of ni comma nk म्हणजे r इंटिजर मधून तुम्ही कोणतेही दोन घेतला तर ते रिलेटिव्हली प्राइम आहेत. nk कसा डिफाइन आहे? nk म्हणजे त्या nk मध्ये फक्त हा स्मॉल nk हा नसणार आहे, म्हणजे बाकीचे टर्म असतील, तर या दोघांचा जीसीडी काय असेल? nk काय असेल तुमचा याच्यानुसार? nk इज नथिंग बट स्मॉल n डिवाइडेड बाय nk, म्हणजे या टोटल प्रोडक्ट मधून n1 इंटू n2 अप टू सो ऑन nr मधून nk हा कॅन्सल आहे, म्हणजे यामध्ये nk नाहीच आहे. या nk मध्ये आणखीन बाकीचे जे आहेत ते सर्व एकमेकांना रिलेटिव्हली प्राइम आहेत, तर या दोघांचा जीसीडी किती असेल? 1च असेल ना, कारण याच्यामध्ये या nk मध्ये हा स्मॉल nk सोडून बाकीचे सर्व इंटिजर आहेत जे की स्वतःला रिलेटिव्हली प्राइम आहेत, त्यांचा प्रोडक्ट विथ हा nk 1च असणार ना, which implies the linear congruence capital nkx is congruent to which number? As GCD of these two integers capital NK and small nk is 1, then capital nkx, this congruence nkx is congruent to which number? वन ला असेल ना. हा एक लिनियर कॉन्ग्रुअन्स तयार केला तुम्ही या दोघांपासून, तो या वन ला कॉन्ग्रुअंट असेल. that is it has a unique solution modulo nk. Okay, since GCD of these two integers will be 1, then it has a unique solution. Okay, let a small xk be the solution of linear congruence nkx congruent to 1 modulo nk. As xk be the solution of this congruence, that is x naught is a solution of ax congruent to b modulo n if x naught satisfies the given linear congruence. As xk be the solution of this congruence, then xk must satisfy this linear congruence, which implies nkxk is congruent to 1 modulo nk. Let us take this one as equation 1. Okay, now here we have to claim that x bar is equal to a1 into capital N1 x1 plus a2 n2 x2 plus up to so on ar nr xr. This one we have to prove, that is this one is the this one be a solution of the given system of linear congruences. Given system of linear congruences. That is we have to prove. Okay. Now, note that here, each small ni divides nk for each I not equal to k. Whether this one will be true. प्रत्येक ni हा डिवाइड करेल का nk ला जेव्हा I हा इक्वल नसेल k ला. nk म्हणजे काय आहे? nk इज नथिंग बट n डिवायडेड बाय nk. म्हणजे याच्यामध्ये असे सर्व इंटिजर आहेत n1 n2 up to so on nr फक्त nk सोडून. म्हणजे प्रत्येक ni हा डिवाइड करेल nk ला फक्त I इक्वल टू k ला सोडून. म्हणजे nk ला डिवाइड करणार नाही परंतु बाकीचे सर्व नंबर हे nk ला डिवाइड करतील.
येस सर.
कळतंय ना का कन्फ्युज होतंय?
कळतंय सर.
nk म्हणजे काय आहे? तुमच्या r n1 n2 up to so on nr चा प्रोडक्ट आहे. त्याला तुम्ही डिवाइड काय करणार आहे? स्मॉल nk नी. म्हणजे त्यामधून फक्त nk हा नसणार आहे. म्हणजे nk ला सोडून उरलेले बाकीचे सर्व n1 n2 up to so on nk - 1 and nk plus 1 to nr सगळे डिवाइड करतील ना या nk ला.
येस सर.
Okay, which implies this capital nk is congruent to 0 modulo ni, which is from the definition of congruence for each I not equal to k. Okay, therefore nk is congruent to 0 modulo ni for each I not equal to k, which implies this x bar equal to a1 n1 x1 plus a2 n2 x2 plus up to so on ar nr xr, which is equal, what should be its value? over modulo nk. प्रत्येक nk हा कुठं कॉन्ग्रुएंट होते? 0 ला. मॉड्युलो ni कधी? जर i आणि k हे इक्वल नसतील तर. जर मॉड्युलो nk जर आपण मॉड्युलो nk वर जर याची व्हॅल्यू काढायची असेल तर प्रत्येक nk हा 0 ला जाईल. कधी? जर i नॉट इक्वल टू k असेल आणि i इक्वल टू k ला ती फक्त एक टर्म शिल्लक राहील म्हणजे ak nk xk. हे कळतंय का? nk कॉन्ग्रुएंट आहे 0 मॉड्युलो ni ला. म्हणजे जेव्हा तुम्ही या कॅपिटल nk ला ni नी डिवाइड करणार आहे तर रिमाइंडर 0 राहणार आहे. म्हणजे जर तुम्हाला या x बार ची व्हॅल्यू ओव्हर मॉड्युलो nk घ्यायचा असेल तर प्रत्येक हा nk जो आहे n1 n2 up to so on हे प्रत्येक 0 ला जातील. फक्त nk ला हा स्मॉल nk डिवाइड करणार नाही म्हणून ती एक टर्म शिल्लक राहील. फॉर each k रनिंग फ्रॉम 1 to r. Okay, this one is nothing but x bar is congruent to ak nk xk modulo nk. But from equation 1 nk xk is congruent to 1 modulo nk. As nk xk is congruent to 1 modulo nk, which implies x bar is congruent to ak modulo nk. Since nk xk is congruent to 1 modulo nk, that is over modulo nk xk value of nk xk is nothing but 1. Okay, for each k running from 1 to r. So here we get one value of x bar for which each a1 is congruent, that is each x bar is congruent to a1 modulo n1, which implies x bar is a simultaneous solution of the given system of linear congruences. म्हणजे तुम्हाला इथे x बार ही अशी व्हॅल्यू मिळाली जी की प्रत्येक एलिमेंट साठी ट्रू आहे. म्हणजे x बार इज कॉन्ग्रुएंट टू a1 मॉड्युलो n1, x बार इज कॉन्ग्रुएंट टू a2 मॉड्युलो n2 अप टू सो ऑन, x बार इज कॉन्ग्रुएंट टू ar मॉड्युलो nr. म्हणजे तुम्हाला एक सायमल्टेनियस सोल्युशन मिळाला, which implies this proves the existence of solution. This proves the existence of solution. Now we have to prove that uniqueness of the solution. Okay, uniqueness let x dash be any other solution of the given system of linear congruences. Okay, as x dash be one another solution of the given system of linear congruences, then which implies x dash is congruent to ak modulo nk, that is x dash satisfy all the linear congruences when your k running from 1 to r. Okay, as a is congruent to b modulo n, then b is congruent to a modulo n, which is the property of congruence, which implies ak is congruent to x dash modulo nk. And we have already one simultaneous solution of the given linear congruences. That is, we know that x bar is already a simultaneous solution of the given system of linear congruences. That is, x bar is congruent to ak modulo nk. This is from the existence part. Okay, whenever k running from 1 to r. So here we get x bar is congruent to ak modulo nk and ak is congruent to x dash modulo nk. Then by the transitivity of linear congruence, that is congruence properties, which implies x bar is congruent to x dash modulo nk. Okay, for each k running from 1 to r. Since x bar is congruent to ak modulo nk and ak is congruent to x dash modulo nk, which implies x bar is congruent to x dash modulo nk. Now we have to use the definition of linear congruence, which implies nk divides the difference of x bar minus x dash for each k running from 1 to r. Okay. Now, this implies that k is running from 1 to r, which implies n1 divides x bar minus x dash, n2 divides x bar minus x dash, similarly n3 divides x bar minus x dash, and so on. Nr also divides x bar minus x dash. Also given that GCD of ni comma nk is equal to 1 for each I not equal to k. म्हणजे कोणतेही दोन जर नंबर घेतले डिस्टिंक्ट तर त्यांचा जीसीडी 1 आहे. आणखी इथं काय मिळालं, अँड वी नो द प्रॉपर्टी दॅट A divides A divides C and B also divides C, and GCD of A and B is equal to 1. Then what should be the property? A divides C and also B divides C, and also given that GCD of these two integers A and B is 1, then which implies A into B must divide C. करेक्ट आहे ना ही प्रॉपर्टी? करेक्ट आहे का? ऐकू येते ना?
Yes, sir.
प्रॉपर्टी करेक्ट आहे का ही? ए डिवाइड करतो सी ला आणि बी डिवाइड करतो सी लाच, पण जीसीडी ऑफ ए अँड बी विल बी इक्वल टू 1, then A into B must divide C. हे ट्रू आहे. तुम्ही चेक करा परत एकदा लास्ट फर्स्ट चॅप्टर मध्ये. इथे काय मिळालं तुम्हाला, n1 डिवाइड करतो x बार मायनस x डॅश ला, n2 परत डिवाइड करतो x बार मायनस x डॅश ला, अप टू सो nr also divides x bar minus x dash, and GCD of ni comma nk is equal to 1, then which implies n1 into n2 into n3 up to so on nr divides x bar minus x dash. But product of these r integer is nothing but n, that is we have defined. Okay, which implies n divides x bar minus x dash. Now we have to use the definition of congruence, which implies x bar is congruent to x dash modulo n. म्हणजे जर तुम्ही दुसरा एखादा सोल्युशन x डॅश हा जरी घेतला तरी तो पहिल्या सायमल्टेनियस सोल्युशनला कॉन्ग्रुएंट आहे, म्हणजे मॉड्युलो यांच्या अंडर तुम्हाला एकच सोल्युशन मिळेल, सायमल्टेनियस सोल्युशन मिळेल, which implies the uniqueness holds. ओके, कुणाला काही डाऊट असतील तर सांगा. काही करायचं नाही तुम्हाला, काहीतरी सिस्टम ऑफ लिनियर कॉन्ग्रुएन्सेस 2-3 देतील तुम्हाला, त्यामध्ये अशी x ची व्हॅल्यू फाइंड आउट करायची ज्यासाठी सर्व लिनियर कॉन्ग्रुएन्स सॅटिस्फाय झाले पाहिजे. आणखीन ती व्हॅल्यू मिळाल्यानंतर तुम्हाला प्रूव्ह काय करायचं आहे, ती व्हॅल्यू ही मॉड्युलो यांच्या अंडरमध्ये युनिक आहे, म्हणजे ती एकच व्हॅल्यू तुम्हाला मिळते, दुसरी व्हॅल्यू पॉसिबल नाही, इतकंच प्रूव्ह करायचं. कुणाला काही डाऊट असतील तर विचार. आहेत नाहीत काही?